Hello and welcome to another British Tech Guru production. I'm your host, Zaphod Beeblebrox. Since the last video, I've been working more on getting this to work with the Pi. Well, I've been discovering a few more things, and that's my latest version. And most of it is working. Yeah, the electronic guys, oh, they laugh at me. You know, I've had no training in electronics. My training has all been in computing. So they laugh at me because I don't know a lot about resistors and capacitors and Ohm's law and God knows what. I have to look it up every time. So as a result, with this keyboard, most of it works, but not all of it. The basic circuit diagram is like that. There we go. That's the basic circuit diagram. Now the figures I've been getting from pressing the buttons are a little bit different from these, because these were the figures I was getting earlier, and since then I've changed a couple of the resistors out. And now I've got accurate readings for all except numbers 1, 2 and 3. Well, I'll get that event in the end. It's probably just one resistor that's wrong. I have to work out which one. The resistances I was getting are here. Oh yes, high class. I use an old progressive envelope for things. But then somebody once said that I was cheap. Well, to me, that is great praise. Being cheap, not wasting money, that's praiseworthy. But they meant it in another way. Who cares? But this keyboard, as I was saying, almost working. Just probably got to change one resistor. Now I did have a slight hiccup earlier in that the connector here, and remember this is a $2 keyboard from China, the connector was falling apart and I had to pop it back together and whatnot. Eventually it worked. So keyboard is almost there. If I can figure out which resistor I need to change, great. If not, well, I might end up having to find another one of these electronic sites. I know they exist, and have a look and see what resistor values I should be using. The trouble is they will all want me to use the same values of resistors, and although I've got a big box of resistors, I'm pretty sure I haven't got enough of the same values, not without leaving me short. And as I said, while I don't do a lot of electronics, I build things from circuit diagrams. I find mostly they work. Mostly the circuit diagrams are good. Sometimes they're not so good. Anyway, that is progress so far. After I've got this keyboard working, which might take me another week. Bear in mind, I'm doing several things all at the same time. Number one, I have my job, and that occupies me from 5:45 in the morning when I start work until around about 4:45 p.m. when I finish work. There are a couple of little gaps in the middle, but I am working almost 11 hours a day. which means when I finish the day, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything with my brain. I just want to sit down, eat my food, relax, and go to bed. Weekends are the only time when I get to do things. At the moment, of course, I'm also running for election. So, yeah, I'm kind of busy. Anyway, so that is the keyboard. After I've got this working, my next thing will be getting the motor controller working. And of course the INA219, which I haven't managed to get working yet, but I know how it should work. I know where I need to put the connections, and I'll have to do that. And then the next thing will be putting everything together as a workable drone. And that's going to be the culmination of all this activity. Once I've got the circuit working, all the electronics working to have a workable drone, I'm good. I can copy everything then, and I don't need to muck about anymore with the electronics, because the electronics will be sorted out, and I can just produce a whole range of weird and wild variations whenever my heart desires. If you notice, all these YouTube videos, they're all showing people flying different kinds of plane. I think there's a group called RC Test Flight, and all they're doing is they're using the same electronics, different plane. Every time, same electronics, different plane, same programming, different plane, and their planes are all made from foam board. Dirt cheap, and it seems to get the views. And at the end of each video, they destroy their planes spectacularly, which is a really cheap way of getting viewers. Now I'm aiming at the brain, because I want my viewers to be more cerebral. So anyway, that's about all I've got time for now, and I'll talk to you again. And this has been a British Tech Guru production, and I'm your host, Zaphod People Brox.